This is an old story of a king. He had a childhood friend who was very close to him and stayed by side all the time. He had a habit that whatever happened in his life, good or bad, he would always say that whatever happens, happens for good. One day the king and his friend went to the forest for hunting. After reaching the forest, king's friend prepared and loaded the gun for him. But he made some mistake in loading the bullet, and when the king fired for the hunt, his thumb was cut. Seeing this situation, the friend followed his habit and said, whatever happens is for good. There will definitely be some goodness behind this. Hearing this, the king got very angry and said, this is not good, my thumb is lost. In anger, the king issued an order to put him in prison. A year later, the king again went to a forest for hunting. While hunting, he went far in the forest and lost his slaves. There, unfortunately, he was caught by man-eating savages and taken to their territory. They tied the king's hand, and when they were about to burn the king by lighting a fire, they noticed the king was disabled with one thumb. Being a superstitious and homophobic nation, they didn't eat any imperfect human being, so they released the king. When the king reached his palace, he remembered how his thumb had been cut off due to his friend's mistake, and he sent him to jail. He ordered his slaves to present his friend in the honorable court. When his friend came, the king told him the whole story and said, I have done you very wrong. I shouldn't have done that. Forgive me, please. You were right that everything that happens, there is some good behind that. It was better that my thumb was cut. Today, my life was saved due to the absence of this thumb, otherwise, I will be eaten up. Hearing this, the king's friend smiled and said, it is better that you send me to jail. Hearing this from his friend, the king was very surprised and said, how it was good for you. You stayed in a jail for a year and you are saying that it was good? The friend smiled and said, yes, it was good for me because if I wasn't in jail, I would have been with you. And those wildlings would have devoured me by now because my thumb is intact. He quoted to all the people present in court that often in life everything that happens is not fair, but man by nature is hasty and wants immediate results. While the results of nature appear after a short interval and prove that everything happens for our goodness. Also, hope should never be abandoned and your thoughts should always be positive.